Hi,
Welcome to Two Nerds and a Camera.
this is #NerdLife.
Cosplay.
Cosplay. It is one of the biggest phenomenons in the world today.
It is one of our favorite hobbies. We do cosplay a lot.
We do. And one of the reasons why some people enjoy cosplay is that they might be shy and they can't really interact with people as themselves. So they use their characters as a way of communicating with the outside world. It gives them strength. I've done quite a few. I've done Ezio from Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I've done Connor Kenway from Assassin's Creed Unity. I've done Misa Amane from Death Note. I've also gone as Yuna from Final Fantasy X-2.
Whereas I have done very basic samurai and Jedi outfits, as well as a not very good budget Cloud from Final Fantasy VII.
Blank.
I do blink. You need to look at my blinking more. My blinking is wonderful blinking. Tell these people about my wonderful blinking. Now look at the people and tell them about my blinking. Oh yes. We're that weird.
Cosplay.
Yes, cosplay.
Excuse me. I'm suffering from a chest cold. Please excuse the fact that I will every now and then staccato cough into the camera.
It's okay. You are not going to get sick. She's not actually there.
They can't see your hands. It looks like you're jerking off down here. It's like, oh.
So, basics of cosplay.
So, yeah, cosplay, right.
There's a few ways to get started, especially if you're new. What I started out with doing, and what many people start out with doing.
Closet cosplay. See, a lot of people don't really get into this because they don't think that they have the sewing chops in order to do it. You don't need to be able to be really good with a sewing machine in order to cosplay.
I'm not.
I am, but that's because I have a lot of experience sewing things by hand.
So, what a lot of people start to do for their first couple of cosplays is they go to budget stores, places like Value Village, the Salvation Army, places where you get clothes on the cheap that you can basically take home.
Or, your mother, your sister, your brothers.
Tear the sleeves off, tear the zippers off, sew patches onto it. If it's close, but not quite to what you want it, you can make changes to it, and you're not going to need to do as much work, which will make things easier on you.
Right. Or, let's say, for my Misa Amane cosplay, she's a gothic Lolita. So am I. So all I really needed was a long blonde wig.
Yeah, so, her outfits she has as a gothic Lolita, plus the blonde wig.
Pretty much it. That's all I really needed. That and makeup. Makeup, that's another thing we should talk about.
There's a couple of places you can go for makeup. Now, if you're wanting something that looks like a face mask, or like you've got this weird scarring on part of your face.
Prosthetics.
Snazaroo.
Yes.
A lot of people in cosplay and LARPing, they end up using Snazaroo. It's fairly common. There are the rare people who do have an allergy to it. Unfortunately, I'm not quite sure what to recommend for you. In most cases, though, Snazaroo is your basic go-to.
It's basically like watercolor for your face.
It comes in all of these different colors: whites, blacks, reds, browns, greens, blues,
Pretty
whatever
much
you need.
a rainbow of colors.
And you can mix the paints as you're putting them on your face for whatever effect you need.
And there's also latex prosthetics. Now, for people that are allergic to latex, my suggestion to you would be get an art student or a friend who is in art school to do airbrushing for you. I'm allergic to latex, so latex prosthetics for scarring or anything like that, they're not really going to work for me. I have managed to do some pretty awesome things with face paint and tissue paper, believe it or not. It makes really good scarring. If you're going to be doing this as part of a photo shoot or at a convention, there are things you need to know. Basic con survival. Bring a pair of comfortable shoes. For for somebody who has walked around in stiletto heels for 2 hours, you will get blisters the size of pancakes before lunch. You will be very, very thankful for those grody high-top sneakers.
The basic con survival. Comfortable shoes,
Water.
food, snacks.
Bring your own. The lines at conventions are horrifying.
Even if you're not bringing a lot, you need to bring at least a little of your own, something to have inside your stomach, because if not,
You're going to be very cranky, and unless that's what your character normally is, you don't want to be snapping at people who just want a picture.
even then, even if the character is very cranky, that doesn't mean you want to be when the photos aren't happening.
Exactly.
Being social, being friendly, it's a good way to get started.
Right. And another thing that I would recommend is converse with your friends. Find a place to stay. Hotels at conventions fill up so fast.
Months in advance.
Yeah. I mean, when I went to Anime North, I didn't even bother getting a hotel because they sold out within hours of tickets going on sale.
And the one that I got, I ended up splitting with way more people than should have been inside of that hotel room in order to keep costs down, because especially the ones right beside the convention centers get very expensive and they're still not that big.
Yeah. So find a place to stay. Stay with friends. Foot powder, baby powder or cornstarch, and deodorant. People don't really understand how grody things get inside of a large costume. Body sweat is a thing, especially if you're running around or if you're going from one end of a convention hall to another.
If you have a friend who is also at the convention and they have a hotel room and you don't, even if you can't stay with them, it would be recommended that you ask them if you could pop into their hotel room and have a quick shower.
Yes. And make sure you get at least 8 hours sleep.
You're going to
Need it.
You are going to be up, walking around all day. If you have less than 6 hours of sleep, you are not going to have a good time. And that's not what we want for you at all.
Now, there are some conventions out there that do not allow weaponry because of
Safety concerns.
safety
mostly.
concerns. But there are ways to build convention-safe weaponry. I will be doing a tutorial on that later in the series.
Foam. Lots and lots of foam. Make it soft. Like, soft as my hair soft.
Oh, yes. So soft.
You want it to be
It's
nice
almost like a
and soft.
L'Oreal commercial.
We're getting off topic again, aren't we?
Because you're worth it.
Oh.
Hi!
But yeah, no, that's the basics of cosplay. We will do more on the subject. We will go into greater depth. One thing we're probably going to be doing on our next thing about cosplay.
Learning how to focus.
Also, this whole wonderful thing, you may have heard of it, because it gets repeated everywhere, and for good reason.
Cosplay is not consent.
I know you've heard this elsewhere. I know you've seen this elsewhere. I know it feels like you've heard this before and you're sick of hearing it, but there's a
We
reason.
can't say this enough.
There's good reason we have to say this as much as we do. Because nobody listens. Because we have to metaphorically hammer
Beat them
this
over
shit.
the head with this.
There's no other way, unfortunately. If people would listen the first time, this would be so much easier, but they don't. So we're stuck doing this.
Yeah.
But that's next time.
Yes. Next time. Thank you once again. This has been 2 nerds and a camera.
Hashtag NerdLife. Thank you for watching. If you've liked what we've done,
Rate, comment, subscribe.
tell us anything you want to see in the future.
Tell us things you don't want to see.
Tell us you hate our guts. You know what?
Tell us-
Vague threats of physical violence we're okay with too.
Tell us that you love us.
Tell us you want to see us in very compromising positions. I'm sure we can arrange this.
Yes, I'm sure we can, but not on YouTube.
Have fun.
Be safe. Love each other.
And don't forget to be awesome.